I gave 200 before and told you video games are dangerous. They are designed to occupy our intellect and emotions, so we don't get involved in fixing society. Realized this after I spent 600 hours on Zelda Breath of the Wild. Just remember, time is our most valuable resource. Be careful.
Thanks, Grandpa Simpson.
What a shame.
We have Cesario with the 20.
No. We're not just going to skate past that one.
Oh.
The idea that consuming art on the conservative side is giving yourself over to wanton carnality and thereby handing over the country and all of your future generations over to societal despair and inevitable communist dictatorship is BS. Yeah, it's not factual. And not only that, the great irony is by doing this, you ultimately wind up abandoning the culture war itself, and because you don't engage with it, it ceases to reflect you. So the irony, of course, is that a lot of the so-called conservatives, I saw a video with, what's his name, Michael Knowles and Andrew Klavan. I like Andrew Klavan normally, but they were talking about heavy metal music and how it's of Satan.
What?
I just had to laugh because I know metal musicians that know more about the Bible than either of these goofs. But it's a classic example of like why conservatives for decades handed over the culture war. First and foremost, they bought into the false Republican-Democrat paradigm. They're both progressive parties. One is a 20th century progressive party. The other's a 19th century progressive party. But almost as kind of a corollary and an extension of that is this falsehood that you can't engage with culture, video games, comic books, blah, 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 because it's a waste of time and it just lulls you in a false sense of security. And it's hilarious because meanwhile, they also acknowledge that Democrats and the left own all of culture, and they're propagandizing us with it. Are you not seeing the connection here? You have retreated from the culture. It will not reflect you, retard. You have to create art. You can't just sit with your thumb firmly lodged in your dumper and cry about it. What did I say in my Iron Age video? I need some ass. I may have to disable alerts while I'm on a rant.
All right.
You can't just sit there and criticize it. What did I say in the Iron Age video, right? Don't cry about the culture. Become the culture. Don't be afraid to engage in entertainment because it's the only way it's ultimately going to affect you. You know, we appreciate the super chat and all that, but I couldn't disagree more. What needs to happen is people of our, whatever, ideological persuasion. Do we have an ideological persuasion? People other than avowed Marxists need to be creating culture. That's what it is. And fortunately, thanks to the onset of the Iron Age and other, attached... It's not even a movement, it's just the name for a period of time, right? Thanks to what is happening here, just has happened organically, that's beginning to occur. So,
Having fun is for commies.
right? And the irony, of course, is the only reason we're having this conversation is because the right struck a number of really important, really visible blows in like the 2016 election cycle and just before that. And why was that? Because of battles over culture. Because for once, the right didn't just sit there and pretend that video games don't matter and pretend that movies don't matter, and they actually hit back on those fronts. And you want to abandon that ground? You want to abandon that territory? Ask Chiang Kai-shek how abandoning territory ends. He abandoned it to the Japanese, and Chairman Mao was there to just gobble it right up.